gonna swap out. It's probably gonna be Gwen after we talk about. I'm done talking.
Okay.
Oh, I found it, y'all.
Wait,
What,
what do
the
you?
topics?
It's like
Are you gonna make it a surprise?
no, it's just like the whole like burnout part. I
Mhm.
guess. It's just like little. I saw this. I'm not Englishing right now.
Clip that.
Clip that.
Your your rolled eye went crazy. Yo, my bad. I'm hella savage right now. I don't know what happened.
It's
Someone ate a
because-
chicken joy and all
Cause
of a
it's the
sudden.
energy
Yeah.
between the two of
Chicken
y'all.
is
Y'all are
building.
twin energy.
I got my
Building.
twin here.
What's
See,
your
black
zodiac
cat
sign?
energy, and
What's
we
your
have
zodiac?
our
Scorpio.
golden retriever.
You know what it is?
That's crazy.
It's because I dyed my hair.
Oh,
What?
I think it's because you guys have matching scrubs and we got matching scrubs. So we're sort of
Ooh.
We got matching hair too.
No,
Why you
hers
copy
is
me?
matching
hers is
genetics.
like violet,
sorta?
dark violet.
Oh, is-
You can't tell.
It's like red, honey.
Hello. The
You look
roots
black to me,
underneath.
bro.
Matt.
With that being said,
My
3,
bad.
2,
Oh, I see it.
1. Hi, my name is Derek,
I'm Matt.
I'm Shannen.
I'm Vincent.
and together we're
Dialogues.
Let's go.
Got
We're
it
so good
again.
now. We have a great episode for everyone listening at home. But first, I want to shout out to Shannen and thank you for bringing us the goods.
Jollibee.
Yeah, Jollibee.
Mind you, she did not
Hold
have
up.
utensils when she was
You need
eating
to put
this.
the clip of that.
We
Oh,
are
yeah,
going
no.
to
Yeah.
clip
With
that
our
later
hands.
and clock it.
Filipino way.
Yo, Jollibee, please sponsor this podcast. You have no idea how many times you sponsored our potlucks in the past. Yeah, so thank you, Jollibee. Your chicken joy is great.
Coming clutch.
Yes, absolutely. Shannen,
Oh.
Vincent,
Yes.
welcome to the pod.
Thank you for having
I've
me.
been to the pod.
I know, okay, no, then
This is
Vincent.
my first time.
Vincent,
and
how do you feel?
I feel camera shy as
Oh.
hell very much.
No, don't even look at
Really?
the
But you're so
camera.
handsome, dude.
Oh my god, thank you. Appreciate it.
And we're matching too.
I know.
He's
So
showing
good
off his
energy.
new ink.
Very
too.
unintentional.
Oh yeah.
Me
Drop
and
in
Matt
the
too.
comments.
It was
Yeah.
unintentional.
Wait, hold on. You're
That's
showing
right.
off your ink?
Oh.
tattoo.
My new
bro.
ink, yes.
Golly.
Yeah.
Oh, damn. that's
I
fire,
mean,
bro.
Matt's showing it off, so I was like, I gotta do the same.
Oh.
Oh my bad.
Yeah, me
There you
too,
go.
dude.
There you go.
Hold on.
I got
She's got
that.
a whole arm.
I got
so.
that Ace
Dang,
from
she's
Love Island
flexing
pose,
too.
bro.
Oh,
I'm not even
dang.
trying, actually.
Okay.
It's just natural.
Why are you laughing?
Not trying.
Anyway.
But no, yeah. Like,
Anywho,
Welcome to the pod.
Thank
Vincent. And I know Gwen's behind the table right now. She's our producer
Go Glenn.
for now, and she could swap in anytime. So, are we gonna have a very serious podcast? Do you think, or you think we're gonna keep it lighthearted? Because I know the topic's a little, heavy. And
I think if Matt's here, it won't be serious.
It'd be very.
But
but
like,
he goes
lighthearted.
serious.
Oh, that's
sometimes.
true.
He
That's
goes
true.
deep,
I could do a mix of both, bro.
dude. That's why
I
it's
think
your
that's
show.
always-
That's
I
why
think
this is your
that's
show.
always good.
We will rename this show the Matt Show.
No, please don't. It's gonna get canceled.
No pod. Matt. Wait, what's your IG? No,
No
IG.
IG Matthew.
Matt.
Drop a follow.
Yeah. Oh, we should probably
Don't.
put down our tags. How do we know each other again? Swift Drip. All right.
Swift Drip.
Cool. All right. I just want to shout out Swift Drip. The topic for today is burnout,
Mm.
nurse burnout, more specifically.
Mhm.
We're all here. We're doing this podcast. We want to bring light to what's very, very prevalent in the healthcare workplace, and it's burnout. I feel like when we're in nursing school, they never talked about this. I mean, at least when I went, because back then it felt like there's so many opportunities for us, and I know there is, but I feel like more and more as I see like the different generations of nurses coming in, they're so quick to like leave the profession entirely, or get advanced practitioner degrees, or go into soft nursing, and it's a trend, and I don't have any solutions for it, but I'm not sure if
You
you,
do
guys
have a
see
solution. You open up Swift Drip.
it too. Yo,
Very true.
Okay, that's true. You're right.
wait,
Wow.
wait. Okay, clock that.
Right.
Clock that for sure. Yes. And I think I did talk about it on the episode that will never be released.
Oh,
But yeah, no. I mean, we
bird
we
files.
made Swift Drift so we could have like a place where nurses could, get a little bag without the stress at the hospital. Hopefully, we're doing a good job. I mean, I don't know.
So far, it's been pretty good.
Yeah. Thanks.
I'll be honest, like, I didn't hear about you guys until February, like, when I was there, present. It's a funny story. Yeah.
Oh, wait, you're
Yeah.
talking about the pickleball event.
Yeah. It was pretty interesting. So I was just like, oh, okay. Like, never thought about doing, like, soft nursing because I've already felt, like, burnt out in a sense because I was doing nursing prior. So, like, I've been a nurse maybe 4 years, almost 5. Like, still like a new grad type of like RN, but I was doing like LVN. So like it was kind of cool to see that there's like a side of soft nursing that you can definitely do. So it was really interesting to like enjoy a night out with friends playing pickleball during that time. And then, we kind of like saw your booth and it was really interesting to me. And then kind of like got to talking to like the people who were there, and funny enough, like some of them were working at the same place I was, and it was just natural. And then it kind of blossomed into me being able to take that leap and like just go for it. And like here we are, like what, 6-7 months later. So
Dang,
7 months
beautifully
Wait, though.
said.
Something like
Vince,
that.
How many
Beautifully
IVs have you done?
to be
In the
honest,
hospital?
20.
in the hospital.
20.
No,
At
with Swift Drip.
Swift Drip, probably less than 10.
Really?
Yeah, still in the single
Oh,
digits. But it's been
We've got
pretty cool.
availability.
Yeah,
Shit's tomorrow, dude.
it's my only day off, unfortunately, for today.
Homie put in work,
Yeah,
dude.
I know.
Homie's fighting this economy
I
single-handedly.
am. Yeah, but it's been cool.
Well, what's your thoughts on like soft nursing? I mean, okay. Well, before we get into that, I think like mobile IV hydration, like soft nursing, is the best soft nursing for guys because they can't readily be an aesthetic nurse. I feel like it is harder to get that position. Do you feel that way? I mean, you don't work in aesthetics, right?
No.
No.
I work at a No, what? A wellness clinic.
Wellness clinic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to make an aesthetics. Like, I would get 1-star reviews on Yelp, because I'd probably just like, all right, you want your lips done? Like, let's do this much CC, and then like, I'll put this much, and I'm like, ooh, it's a little too much. Just go the other way. Ooh, it's still fun. And then next thing you know, you're gonna look like that one. You're gonna look like that one duck from Chicken Little. The one. So we'll put it on there, but yeah, you're gonna look like that if I was an aesthetic nurse. So thank God. Like,
I was
I'm not
thinking
an
more of
aesthetic
that
nurse.
one character from Monsters Inc.
Oh, with the 100%.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, one of the lips.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure you're gonna end up like that. My bad. That's why I don't do it.
The one with the lips.
Yeah, but soft nursing, at least for IVs, it's definitely a gateway. But I know a lot of nurses, even when they've been nurses for like couple years now, they still aren't too confident with IVs, which understandable. You only know what you know, and sometimes you don't get the chance to practice, or you don't have enough time to actually do the IVs. So at least with Swift Trip, you get your reps in.
Oh yeah, no, definitely,
Get your
and
reps in.
it's good because the clients that we see, they're mostly like well hydrated already,
Yeah.
and have good veins, so easy sticks.
Yeah.
Yeah. But what do you think the pipeline is like? Like, when do you think the burnout settles in for like new nurses? Because I feel like it's as soon as they get out of their preceptorship, like when they're done with their preceptorship and they're like actually in it, that's when like the layers of burnout start settling in. And I guess it depends unit by unit. Because I remember in ER, I didn't feel burnt out until I left my small community hospital to like a bigger hospital. That's when I felt burnt out, because it wasn't the clinical stress that burnt me out. It was like the bureaucracies, the always needing to be like perfect and doing it like the magnet way, or like the different committees you're voluntold to be a part of. Like, because I didn't get into nursing to be in committees. I just want to like take care of people, you know. And no one warns you during nursing school about all the extra stuff and the reality of like it really being a thankless job sometimes. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I could really dive deep without. I mean, but it would get me in such an emotional spot, and I don't want to cry on this pod. Yeah.
I mean, anyone want to talk about it? Like, I kind of agree with Derek on his position in terms of burnout. Pretty much starts the moment you become a nurse. I feel like right when you get out of nursing school, and you do your first job as a nurse, I would say for sure that's the start of burnout. But what do you guys think?
I feel like straight out of nursing school, you're still stressed in a sense because like you have to study for your boards. Then like once you pass, you know, you have to like now pretty much go through like the interview process looking for a job. That's stressful too. But I think once you get a job and then go through like that program, it's still going to be stressful. It's no longer like school stress, but it's more like work related stress now. So definitely I feel like the burnout can happen even like right when you start your preceptorship, because I've heard stories out like where I work where people don't really last that long. They decide to like leave like, you know, 2 weeks into their yeah. So it's like they're still new, but they're already feeling the pressure of like pretty much like being at high standards already, which is true because, you know, we're here to provide that care. So it can definitely be like, you know, as soon as like you're still going through nursing school, and then the burnout will be real. So I don't think it's like a certain point. It's just like everyone's different. So it's really how you like handle the burnout.
I mean, there's so much talk in nursing school about how nursing is a continuum of care, but what they fail to talk about is the continuum of stress that you experience from prereqs to actual foundational nursing, up to advanced nursing to, like you said, interviews, and then actually, you know, being a nurse at a hospital. I don't know where I'm going with this, but it just seems like there's so many things that nursing school did not prepare you for, and that's where burnout lives and resides. I feel like it's the things that they failed to tell you. Yeah.
I think that's valid, but also on the other end, I will say how can a school standardize the practice of nursing when each hospital, like I remember nursing school, they're always like, you know, when you have skills day, right? You prepare to do certain skills a certain way. Then at the end of it, it's always checking with your facility, right? So there's a standard, but also like how can you make that normalized throughout, like, you know, throughout the country, especially when each state has its own stuff, each country has its own stuff. You know, there's so much that goes into it. But yeah, I think I agree with Derek. That's like, like burnout for sure starts when you're getting pushed past what you expected. Like there's an actual concept, and I think it just goes along with human nature, called like the zone of optimal growth. If you were to connotate that into a mathematical sense, it's x plus 1. So x is the limit of what you can do plus 1. Then you feel like you're growing, and it's just human nature to want to feel like you're growing and progressing. But sometimes in nursing, you feel like it's x plus 20. Like you're like, some days it's like x plus like 40, x plus like 30. Whereas I feel like most jobs you're either at x, or like maybe you find ways to make it like x minus 10, or x, like make it easier for you, right? Like sure you can with nursing, but for the most part it's never like steady in terms of how much you can progress in terms of for the day, because you never know what's going to happen during the day. So I think that's what leads to burnout, is especially when like you have like really bad days that you can't really let go of. For me though, I kind of let go of everything nowadays. I'm like, I don't take it too much. I don't take it too personal.
You don't feel like you have canon events in nursing?
I think I do, but I've had so many already where it's like I already understand where my role is as the med surg telenurse. I can't like, yes, there are going to be really sick patients, and obviously there are some days where patients who are on my floor should obviously be in the ICU. I'm only going to do what I can do, and if there's nothing else that I can do, then I will call. And if there's always somebody higher than you, unless you're the house soup, that you can always escalate things to.
Sure.
Yeah. So at least for me, I've been like, for me to prevent burnout, I do pretty good at making sure like I don't overwork myself. I don't stress out too much about like, oh, I didn't chart this, didn't chart that. At the end of the day, as long as the patient's okay, I could care less about if I forgot to chart something. Like as long as I know that for a fact I walked out of my shift, I did everything that was really pertinent to the patient's care. I don't really care too much about like the small stuff like that. Like I could get written up for like if I don't chart this thing, but as long as the patient's okay, I don't care.
Believe you me, I've been written up so many times because of my charting.
Yeah.
No, for real.
Yeah.
That's because you guys got that magnet hospital. I like the shitty community hospitals where I'm like, I walk in. Sometimes I come into the shift, I check, oh, there hasn't been an assessment at all charted from the previous shift. And I'm like, all right, patient's okay, it's whatever. Like, yeah, at the end of the day, I'm like, okay, I'm taking over. If the patient doesn't seem okay, all right, we calling rapid at the start. We're hitting the ground running, but it is what it is. Like, I can't change that, and I'm not going to call the nurse to come back and, like, chart. That's not my job. That's the manager's job.
At least you have the wherewithal to know to call it rapid, you know?
I mean, depends. Some hospitals. I used to work at a hospital where if you call it rapid, especially at night,
They get mad at you?
yeah, the doctor
Wait,
one time blamed
what?
me for
That's
like,
the
they're like, you're the reason they
worst.
rapided. What did you do? I'm like, yeah, my bad. I just came in. It's only been 3 hours on my shift, and it's literally the byproduct of this guy's 50 years of smoking just hitting him all at once. I just happened to be here. My bad. It's my fault, dude. Yeah.
You
What
woke
the
me up
fuck?
for that? Really?
Yeah. I was like, dude, I'm calling you about your patient. You don't want to do anything. I'm calling ICU then, dude. That's what it always is. Like sometimes I don't even call I call the primary after the rapid's called because I'm like, okay, we need at least
Right,
attention
yeah.
right away. And the primary, they're not gonna respond right away. Most protocols like call the primary and in like 15 minutes. If you don't get a response, then like call it rapid. Sometimes I'm like, dude, it takes like an hour to get back and like get the a call back from the doctor. So I'm like, again, what matters most at the end of the day is the patient okay. Maybe I skip through some loopholes or maybe I don't do what's exactly the protocol, but I'm thinking about the patient and making sure that they're fine. Like I'm going to do not whatever it takes, but I'm going to do what I think is in the best interest to actually make sure that they get out of the hospital safely wherever they're going. I'm going to do that rather than like some protocol. And if people get mad at me, I'd rather that they get mad at me that I maybe called a rapid too early than they get mad at me for not calling a rapid or calling a rapid too late. It's just at the end of the day picking what you're willing to put up with, right? Like I'm willing to put up with like, yeah, my bad. I was the dude who called a rapid early and the patient was just unresponsive, but they were just like sleepy, And all we had to do was like snore up them, then they woke up, But I'd rather like make sure that everyone's okay. As long as I'm not burning through resources, because obviously
I
that's
will
an
burn
important.
through the resources.
You'll burn
If the doctor doesn't answer to me, I
Yeah.
will call rapid.
Oh yeah, no, exactly. I'm like, nobody called a rapid right now, but also my patient's important. So yeah, I'm calling one.
It's
So
crazy how you
that's what
say that
matters.
you could care less, but I feel like you care a lot, dude. Like
You do.
you could tell. You could
Yeah.
tell like this is like
But I feel like that's
Yeah.
part of burnout, though, like the emotional aspect of like having to turn off your emotions and just like dealing with, like I saw these things like not putting your own needs first because you're so used to putting everyone else's at work that you kind of just leave and you forget about yourself. Or you can lose yourself in a lot of things.
Oh yeah,
I think
that's true.
yeah.
I think that's easy too, especially. I mean, there's a reason why, like, there's like a whole storyline in it of what Nurse Jackie, where she starts relying on like opiates to
Yeah.
kind of like just be able to get the sense of relaxing and like a sense of safety, I guess, from like the stress of nursing.
Mm-hmm.
Luckily in California, nursing's pretty chill. That's why I don't want to go out there. But I know like that's like pretty common in like other states for sure, where it's like you're getting a lot more stress as a nurse. I'd say we're pretty fortunate to be working in California for that. But yeah, I think that's just, you gotta find a way to prioritize yourself, and that's not something that like any of us could really speak on because each person's different. So like, what helps you relax is different than what helps me relax and stuff. For me, I'm pretty simple. Where I'm just happy where like on my days off, I don't have too much responsibility. Like I don't have like a kid to feed. I don't have like
Just like 20 cats.
yeah. Oh, I just got one cat. I just got one cat. Me and him are scrapping every day, dude. I love that guy. But yeah, I only gotta worry about him, and I just like I go on my walks. I do my thing. I eat good food. Make sure I clean up every now and then. And I'm satisfied with that. Doing like simple things for the day. Like I'm very happy with that.
Not to push back or anything, but when the day comes, if you have a kid, would life be as simple? I mean, okay, that's such a stupid way to phrase it, but like,
I get what you mean.
But you know what
Because
I mean?
there's more responsibility to like.
Right. Like, do
Yeah.
you feel like you would, like, your coping method from like burnout and stress would still apply when you have more responsibilities, or do you feel like you'll find a way to pivot in the way that, I guess, either your perception of what relaxation is or your methods to relaxation?
I think I guess in a sense you could just like kind of like dilute this down, or more kind of like extrapolate this concept to more of like coping mechanism then, right?
Sure.
I'd say my coping mechanisms are pretty solid. Like again, like I'm just simple where as long as I can go to the gym and like as long as I'm eating like pretty decent food and get enough sleep, I would want to believe that I would be okay if or when the day comes I have a kid. Ideally, I have a good partner who supports,
Mm-hmm.
like, supports me, and I'd support her ideally, like in the way that she would want to be supported. And I'm just hoping that our kids chill, man. I was apparently, dude, my parents, they said when I was a baby, I was like, chill, dude.
You were chill.
Yeah. Low-key, like when I hear stories, I'm like, oh, I was born to be a people pleaser, low-key. Like low-key, like during Bible study, apparently, like my parents said there was one story where like I was crying and my grandma was like, in Tagalog, she was like, oh, like, stop crying. Why are you crying? And then I just stopped crying right then and there. Like I just listened like as if I knew what the hell those words meant as like a fucking toddler, like a 4-month-old, dude. So I was like, dang. And yeah, and then like they told me all the stories like, oh yeah, you're chill. You just slept all the time. Wow, cool. I do that nowadays too.
I wish that could be me.
No, yeah, I'd be overthinking too much on my days off. I'm just like, I should be sleeping, not like thinking about like what happened on my last shift and stuff. So it's just like, people are different, and I feel like nurses don't really follow the advice we give our patients. We're like, oh, you gotta take care of yourself. You gotta make sure you eat right, sleep well, and then we turn around and like, I know for me, like I clearly don't do that when I go home. I'm just like lacking sleep. I'm not eating right. So I think that's where the burnout can start to come into. And so it's just really hard to handle it in the meantime. But I know that there's like a good support system. I feel like you need that as like a nurse.
Oh
'Cause
yeah.
you're just gonna like kind of crash out every single day. So yeah.
Or finding hobbies or something that you enjoy doing.
Yeah, for sure. Fortunately, I can't do that right now because I work too much. So, but I know like on my days off, definitely family is like important to me. So finding that time to kind of connect, build that bond a little bit better, especially between like my dad and I. Like he grew up in a world where like shit, like the world went to shit, so for him to come out, hard-headed, I have to understand like he's coming from a place of like love and understanding. So it's important for me to kind of build that with him, especially the times that like, my mom might be going out of town for, business trips or, just for fun, like him being at home, like kind of have like a cool, like, you know, chill boys now, like night out, like take them out to dinner. So I feel like that's where I can kind of reel myself back in from like crashing out, because there's definitely a lot of nights where I'm just like, what the fuck is going on? So
In
yeah.
in nursing or just in life in general?
I feel like in both, like nursing and in life, mentally, physically, like there's a toll that I'm starting to feel in nursing. And, you know, like I might put on this like facade, like, oh, hey, like I'm okay. But I know there's moments where I'm just like, damn, like I could be doing better. Like I need help a little bit. And sometimes I have that tendency to not ask for help. I'm like, I know I can do this. Like I got this on my own. But in reality, like nursing is like a team type of profession. Like you have people around you who are going to support you. But I feel like there's not a lot of things that people understand, like behind the scenes personally. And there's only so much you can talk about or like vent to with your coworkers. But at the end of the day, you know, like the stuff that happens between my family and I, like they're going to be the only ones who truly understand like what's going on. But it can't happen unless I speak up about it, which is very hard for me to do from time to time.
And a lot of men in general. I
Yeah,
feel like.
for sure.
Oh,
Yeah, that's
okay.
true. Yeah, that's it's good though that you recognize that. You know, like the first step was always recognizing, and then the next step, probably the toughest one, is actually speaking up.
Yeah, that's definitely really hard. Like I know I'm self-aware in like what I'm lacking in, what I can always do better, but I'm the type of person who's always like putting a lot of pressure on myself, and that definitely doesn't help in nursing, because like it's already a high stress environment enough. You know, putting that pressure on myself, I have to really kind of take a step back and be like, shit, like I made it this far, you know, like pat myself on the back, give myself some grace, you know, and kind of take every small victory as it is, you know.
I get you, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I feel like it's easier for me to have like heart-to-hearts or like one-on-one vents with like my really close friends and like with other guys specifically, because they know like the shit I've been through, like ups and downs. So it's good to have that system. But like what Shannen was saying, like, yeah, it's really hard for like us men to like kind of be vulnerable in that aspect, and you know, break down that like tough guy mentality. Like we have emotions, like it's okay to cry. Like shit, I watched Demon Slayer like twice last week, and I cried every single time, you know. So like I show my emotions for sure, you know, like any little thing will make me emotional, but you know, I try not to show it, because like my parents raised me to like be that eldest son, and try to be like, oh, like I gotta be strong for them. But sometimes I don't feel strong, man. I feel weak sometimes, but you know, that's just life.
You know what I always think about, like at least in my field specifically, my patients go through worse than what I'm ever facing in life. Like I could be like, well, knock on wood, but like they're going through the worst of it, like, you know, having cancer, and like who am I to complain about the things in my life when I've seen what they're going through.
But you have to understand your lived experience matters too, you know. So
Well, yeah.
Pain is pain, no matter how big or small. But I do get what you mean. That's what a lot of people use also to kind of like, I guess, like cope with nursing too. That's kind of what I walk in, or my mentality too, that I walk into. Especially because, like, again, well, your specialty is more specific in terms of you'll probably more likely to maybe actual all 3 days you'll encounter something more like tragic going on. Whereas like for med-surg tele, it's literally just a coin flip. I could see something crazy. I could have a chill day where it's like kind of pretty easy money, like arguably. But with your concept too, I understand that though, because it's like yeah, they're having like what they're going through is a million times like unfathomable compared to like what we're going through also. That's why it's kind of nice that you understand, like, at least from what I'm getting, is that you understand it's like, okay, like, these people depend on me for these 12 hours. I have the other 12 hours of the day when I clock out to actually break down and, like, let the emotions show. But for these 12 hours, they kind of rely on you as, like, kind of the person to, like, kind of the person who's, like, they could put, like, their hope and, like, kind of, like, their faith into a little bit. Like at the end of the day, as a nurse, you are kind of the representative of like the hospital and the care that they receive. So yeah, so that's why it's like, I'm sure you've encountered too where was it grief can be in like 5 different stages, right? Like some days you could be like, oh, like this guy's being an asshole to me, like they're super fucking mean, but then you're like, oh, like they're going through some pretty rough shit, like it's whatever, like at least for me, or what probably you would think is like, I'm gonna clock out at 7, but they aren't able to clock out of this shitty situation.
Yeah.
So
It's also like just the stages of emotion. Like let's say I talked about this once, but I go into one room, a patient was just diagnosed with cancer. I go to the next room, patient's reacting to their chemo treatment.
fuck.
Go to another room, patient's dying. And it's like switching your emotions like back and forth constantly is so difficult. And I feel like that's where a lot of like the burnout and like losing yourself aspect goes into. But also, I love oncology so much. I can't imagine, like, I can't even deal with med-surg patients. I'm sorry. Like, you want oxy for a UTI? Get out of here. My patient next door is like, has cancer and they just want Tylenol. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't have a lot of sympathy and patience for just, or the tolerance, I guess, for certain things.
No, I got you. That's why, like with med-surg tele, obviously we see a wide array of types of patients. When I do get an onc patient, I'm always more attentive to them.
Mm-hmm.
Like I will always go above and beyond for them. It's either, at least for med-surg tele, the demographic that I always go above and beyond for are either onc patients or comfort care.
Critical or comfort.
Yeah, those are like those are where the moments, not just with the patient, but with the family, is just as important because the family members will remember how they were treated in the hospital. And at least for me, I want to like, I just told this to a patient actually, like before I left, like, cause I worked last night. I told they're like, are you back tomorrow night? Are you back tonight? Like, I want to make sure that like I'm in good hands. I really like the patient actually said like, you're a breath of fresh air when it comes to nursing. I was like, well, thank you so much. And so and I told him, like, I'm actually not back. I'm back again on Wednesday. But if you're gone or if you're discharged by the time that I see you or by the time that I'm back, I want you to know that it was a pleasure being your nurse and taking care of you. I like certain patients, I always like to like leave a lasting impression that maybe to me, it's me just clocking out at 7. But for them, that's actually like, they'll think on that as like the last memory that we have. That's the last actual exchange that me and that person will ever have. And I always believe that each person like on this earth is like, we each have their own difficulties, we each have our own struggles on upbringings and like who we are in our current situation. So that's why it's like even more important that I do what I can to make every little moment and interaction with these patients more meaningful. Like it at least for me, I'll remember that last interaction with the patient. Maybe that might be the very last time I ever see him, and very sure enough, he might pass away like next week or something. But at least for me, I can kind of walk away from that person as like a good memory, at least good exchange is what I could think of. So I'm sure you probably have a lot of that in like oncology too, and kind of like I feel like having that as like a good goal for me whenever I go to shifts. And it's not like I force it, but when it happens, it does make the burnout for nursing, like my threshold for burnout, like if this is me burning out, it depletes it back down to 0 because it makes me more grateful for the small interactions.
But I also feel like a lot of patients do remember us because we're with them through well, mind you, like, people are not the same when they're in pain.
Oh, 100%.
And, like, some of them come into the hospital and they're traumatized and stuff. So, of course, they're going to remember these moments. Like, we all remember traumatic moments more than other memories, you know? So, we definitely always have to leave an impact somehow. Or at least that's what I like to think, especially with oncology.
Yeah, for sure. Like me, I never thought I'd be doing oncology, but you know, I had a really good opportunity to apply to the hospital that I'm currently at under that unit, and you know, I'll always be grateful for my friend who put in a good word for me. But yeah, I never thought I'd be in this field of oncology. It was definitely tough at first, for sure, but there are moments where I'm just like a drone and I just go by the shift. But there are patients that I still kind of remember, leaving like an impact, not just for me, but I hope for them too. You know, like there was some patients who recently got diagnosed, and there were like, you know, these different steps that they had to kind of like decide. And it was a tough talk for them, I'm sure, between the oncologists and like their family. So, you know, I usually work 3 nights in a row just to get it done. So I generally have like my same assignments back. And so there was this patient, you know, who had that recent diagnosis. They had gone through, you know, different types of chemotherapy regimens, and it like their body wasn't reacting to the chemo as it should have. And so they had to really sit down and eventually come to a solution of like, what's the best, you know, kind of decision. Like, do we want to keep doing this to prolong life by, you know, like 2 to 3 weeks, or just kind of accept that and just live out the rest in, you know, comfort and enjoy that family time. And that was like a conversation that was kind of heavy for me, because like obviously working nights, you don't really see that type of interactions, and so you do your best to provide that care from start to finish. And then, you know, when you have that downtime, what I did was like I really sat down for like a good half hour, asked them like what their decision was, what they're gonna go through, and you know, like I definitely like thanked them at the end, you know, like thank you for allowing me to take care of you for whatever, how many hours we had, even if it was short, you know. And I hope that, you know, I don't see you back, because in a sense it's like good, but if I do, I'll be sure to like, you know, stop by, say hello. So being in oncology for like the last year and a half has really changed my perspective of like bedside nursing, building that good relationship, and like Matt was saying, like going above and beyond. I definitely for sure will always go above and beyond, and you know, it's just really taking it day by day and understanding that whatever shit I have going on at home, leave it at home, because when I come here, I'm focused on one thing, and that's patient care. You know,
it truly is an honor and a privilege to be a nurse, and I think it's that token of wisdom, I guess, that keeps the burnout at bay. You know, couple of assessments. Shannon, you talked about how like every different room is a different sort of emotion that you have to sort of like put a face on for, and then you, Vincent, told us about how sometimes you clock in and you feel like a drone. I was wondering, do you feel like as an oncology nurse you have to be sort of like the master of dissociation and then just like getting back, like throwing yourself back into reality? Because I feel like there's a lot of like when you're going through these different episodes, or like seeing these episodes of trauma or like very traumatic like stories that you see on the floor, that's a lot to take in, you know.
All the time, especially because I feel like I see the patient so much that we build such good relationships with not only the patient but the families that come every single day. And I don't know, like I remember the one that resided with me the most was this one patient. She was downgraded from ICU. She was in our hospital in and out for like months. She was downgraded from ICU. Looked at her, and I was like, she shouldn't be here. She should be back in ICU. And then within that like hour, she was coding. And I remember like I went into her room because she was like tachycardic, and she held my hand and grabbed me, and she was like, I don't want to go through this again. I don't want to be intubated. And the ICU doctor comes, and we start coding her, and she still grabs me. She's like, no, don't let them like intubate me. And I was like, the doctor was like, she's still full code technically. And I was like, but she's sane enough to make the decision right here. And her son was visiting for the first time, her only family member, and he was just sitting there watching everything. And when they sent her back to ICU and he saw the whole mess, like, I went up to him and like I almost cried, and he was just in so much shock. I was crying. And then next door I see a patient walking out, AMA, and I'm like, well, okay.
That's a complete 180.
It's such a ruthless
Yeah.
comedy, like healthcare is, because like that's such a flip. It's so
You
crazy.
probably got someone who's calling for blankets because they're cold.
No, see, and here's the thing too. Like every time I get an oncology patient, I'm like, why are you not in your floor oncology? Because I know that
Yeah.
there's 3 other patients who are asking for oxy for like toe pain, and I'm like, now you're taking away my time to actually bring quality care to someone that actually needs it, to someone that, I mean, yes, you're in pain, but come on, let's be real.
Yeah.
It's just they call for pain at the worst time.
Always.
I get it.
Always.
I
They'll
get
be
it.
like
It's
standing
due.
outside the code room, and
Yeah.
then they'll be like, can I get some water? I'm like, dude. I'm like,
Yeah, literally. I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
yeah. They always ask for. It's
yeah,
like
give me a second.
it's just like, yeah, like what you said. It's comical to the point where it's like, okay, like you're valid for asking it, but also it's like a little busy here, buddy. Like I'm like, okay, let me just scan and just like Kobe Bryant that from afar. Just open wide. Okay, good. I'm going back to this thing. But it's like, yeah, so much stuff happens in the hospital. That's why it's like,
You definitely disassociate a lot.
you do. Yeah. I think that's the only
You
way to
have
kind of
to.
survive. Yeah. Yeah. You have to.
It's gonna eat you
Yeah.
alive.
Kind of like what you were saying earlier.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes you like overthink a lot and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I used to be like that when I first started. But then I kind of swapped, and then I'm like, yeah, I try not to think too much, Like, I
Mhm.
try to have maybe like 2 or 3 thoughts a day. I'm just kidding.
Well, no, like what you were saying about like, charting and stuff, like that's always gonna be bane of my existence. And so I'm just like, am I documenting too much? Or am I documenting too little?
It's because you don't have a union at your hospital, bro.
Oh.
I think-
Clock it.
Hey, that's why you get NSO, bro. You're good.
Yeah.
You
Well, I
malpractice
mean, like,
insurance.
being on the oncology floor, like
I
it's
feel like you have to be detailed.
we
though.
have to be detailed.
That's true. Yeah.
Like,
the chemo, everything.
yeah, eyes
Okay,
and
reactions.
nose,
I think-
reactions.
Like, any changes.
Yeah.
I think it's just you gotta. Well, there you go. Like, I think that's what. Like, I was actually just talking to some of my coworkers who are burnt out, and what I noticed the trend is that it's kind of like you're paying too much close attention. Like, imagine you're taking a class,
Mm-hmm.
and then you know how like they always say, like, maybe take notes on what's important, right? But then
you
you're
write
like,
everything.
everything's
Yeah,
important.
yeah,
Like when you
yeah.
first start the class, everything's
Mhm.
important. Then you realize like, oh, I don't actually have to take notes on this one. I don't even have to take notes on this one. Then your packet of notes turns to like maybe a couple sheets of paper. So that's how I kind of view nursing too. Like, again, like there are things that are specific that you should be focusing on, like what you said with oncology, And again, like I haven't worked with patients who are receiving like radiation, so I don't know. I know of the severity of reactions and how important you need to look out for them. But then at the end of the day, that's also like every little specialty of nursing is like that too. You just have to know which ones to actually focus on and pay attention to, and which things that you can kind of like not really sweat about.
Yeah.
I think that's how you stay in a specialty for so long, or that's how you
sure.
stay in nursing for so long. It's because then you eventually learn to not focus too hard on certain things, and you really divert your attention to the things that really do matter.
Yeah.
And the first and foremost of that is always going to be, is the patient okay? Like you can always catch up on charting and whatnot a little bit later.
Yeah.
But you pay, like what you said, if it's oncology related, you pay attention to the reactions first and foremost, or you pay attention to the patient. You can always back chart like later.
For sure.
Yeah.
I don't chart till like 5 a.m. if I'm being honest with you.
I mean, I'm lucky where the system that I use is Cerner, and I've used Cerner all of my nursing career, so I know the shortcuts on how to chart quick. Like everyone's in like, if you give me like 30 minutes undisturbed, I could chart my entire full shift. Like it's super quick, yeah.
Without even jotting down like the times and stuff, because I know I do that when I don't
I
have
just
time.
write down like
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
I
times,
did
like what
assessments.
happened.
Oh yeah, I read
Yeah.
like I literally like if you see my sheet of paper, like the back of my brain always has like the times. Like
Oh, okay.
I always do everything in like I always do everything, but then I go chart it later to make it look fancy. You know,
Yeah.
like for us, it's like every 4 hours, right?
Mhm.
For like vitals and like
Mhm.
assessment. So I will like, especially for vitals, I'll do the vitals. I'll just write them down quick or take a photo, go to the next one, write them down quick, do something. Like I'm always like making sure that I have a record of it so I could chart it for sure in real time later. Like if something happened, I make a note on my phone for the shift and stuff like that.
Mhm.
But that's what's worked with me, and obviously like everyone finds their own thing too.
Yeah, I know. Like working on the oncology floor, like I recently was caring for a patient like the other week. They were upgraded to like PCU, like progressive care, because we care for those on our floor too. Like this patient was like on telly, she was on like high flow, and like, but I get it, like she's here, she wants to express herself, but she was just like basically yapping a lot. And so I was doing my best to really tell her how it is in terms of like, hey, I have to check on you, you know, every 2, every 4, because of the progression that you're going through with your disease process. And so she didn't really like that. She was just like, why do you keep bothering me? Like, I'm sick, let me rest. But I told her straight up, like, my job is to keep you safe, you know, especially being on the chemo floor. So I definitely decided to like take her back for like a second night. And I just found it comical, like on the 3rd night that I was back, you know, my charge nurse was like, yeah, we're giving you like a different patient because you want to know what she said. And I was just like, what she say? They were like, you know, word for word, like, oh, Vincent's like too detail oriented, he's doing too much, I'm not getting enough sleep, like I don't want him back as my nurse. And I found that really funny because I'm like, isn't that what we were all, you know, hired to do, what we went through school for, to provide direct patient care? And so I found it funny because in my mind, I'm like, would you rather have a nurse who does less and not really check up on you? So
You should have told her you could rest with me or you could rest with Jesus.
Damn.
Bar, what the
Whoa! Let Jesus take the wheel from that point forward.
Don't put that in the video.
No, I am. That's a bar. What the hell?
You're done, buddy.
Yeah.
You're done. That was quick with it too.
Yeah, dude, that was Matt
rip.
level quick.
Yeah,
Off the
that was pretty
rip.
savage.
I'm
bro.
learning from the best.
Oh my god.
Is that it?
No.
And it didn't even deserve it. It deserved
Yeah,
it.
the
Yeah,
clap.
it deserves its
Standing
own clap.
ovation. Gwen standing.
Damn, bro. Yeah. Sorry about that patient. That shit
No,
sucks.
it's okay. At the end of the day,
I mean,
it's
she
like,
complimented you.
she complimented me in a way where, like, you know,
Backhanded.
Yeah, it was like
Word.
a backhanded
It is
compliment. but-
exactly, which I don't mind. 'cause,
Too detail oriented.
I'm like, okay, that's fine. I'm gonna keep doing that, but then, you know,
I
it's
don't
fine.
want him, but give him a raise.
And sometimes, like when patients are like that, like they're like pissed off that you're doing your job. I'm always like, hey, I don't want to have to do it either, but I'm getting paid for it. Okay, I gotta do it. You don't like it, I don't like it, but it's gotta be done. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're like, all right. And I'm like, yeah, I hate the hospital too. That's why I'm trying to get you out of here.
I just say, like, I don't want to. You don't want to stay here longer
Yeah.
than you have to, right?
You don't want to stay
So let
here.
me do my job.
I don't
Yeah,
want you
yeah.
to stay here. We want the same thing. Okay.
Mhm.
That's it.
Let me just say, I love that we're talking about oncology because oncology doesn't get talked enough.
Oh
I feel like it's always about med surg, ER, ICU.
Yeah.
Well, question for you guys actually. Why, out of all the specialties, why did you choose oncology? And why, despite how much of a kind of like a cohesive topic of it being a high burnout specialty, why have you guys stayed this long in it?
I've always wanted to do oncology since I was little. And then dealing with family that had cancer, it made me want to do it more. But it also makes you appreciate life differently.
Yeah, that's true.
And I love the impact that you actually leave.
Yeah.
Good or
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah.
No, I
Good
mean,
or bad?
yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Like,
that part.
Yeah.
I would say like onc and peds are the two specialties. I feel like
Peds oncology was my dream.
peds. Oh, that one's crazy
I
tough,
would-
dude. Yeah,
I would.
that one.
I would be crying every night.
Oh yeah, no.
I wouldn't
I'm-
even make it to my bed. I just plop
Yeah.
right down on the floor
Dude,
after every shift. And just
Yeah,
cry.
because those are like the
What's going
the two communities that you could, or two specific demographics like you could argue never did anything to deserve what they got.
Yes.
Like
Mhm.
cardiac, okay, it's 50 plus years of smoking and poor eating habits. It kind of leads up to that, you
Mhm.
know, or you could say like Filipinos, what we usually have, like we're usually hemodialysis patients, hypertension. I mean,
Everything.
yeah, when you look at it,
Yeah.
it's like it's because there's a lot of like high stress. We're prone to
Mhm.
high blood pressure.
Family history.
Also, like the food's like really salty, so it kind of makes sense. A lot of things kind of add into that one big hit where you're admitted in the hospital and that organ's kind of fucked.
Mhm.
But like onc and peds, it's like damn, like it literally just like it's just bad luck. Like RNG got you, dude,
Yeah.
and that's what sucks. That's why it's like I can't help but want to give more to
Mhm.
them. But sorry, before I cut you off.
Oh no, I know for me, like I never wanted to do oncology just because it's like I'm sure it's like high stress, which it is, but I think I've grown to enjoy it because yeah, there's gonna be those bad nights, but like I mentioned before, there's that one good shift where it just makes being in that profession or in that specialty a lot more rewarding. And so I know for me, like seeing the patients coming back again, and I'm like, oh, like that name sounds familiar. Like, oh, I've had them before, whether it was a bad experience, but then like, how can I change it where it becomes a good experience for them, making, like Shannen was saying, like a lasting impression.
Also,
So-
because they come so much, I feel like our patient population are more appreciative
Mm-hmm.
to staff and nurses.
For sure.
Yeah.
Like they can come from like the infusion center, they come straight to our floor to be monitored for
Higher level of care.
higher level of care for reactions. Like I know like patients could be going through the same type of therapy, but like they're like, for us to understand, like they're either like day +2, one's like day +5,
Mhm.
but like one's not reacting, the other one is, so it's interesting to see how we step into action between those type of chemotherapies, and it's been definitely rewarding for sure. Like I don't take it for granted, even though I say like I'm becoming more drone like or starting to feel the burnout or being jaded, so I think at the end of the day, like someone is always going to have it worse than
yeah.
what I'm going through. So it's like they didn't ask to be here. So, it's just like having that mindset. And I've always learned this. I don't know who said it, but I learned it in school. It's just like, imagine like that's your family member, mom, dad, brother, it doesn't matter. Like, how do you want them to be treated in that sense? So I always take that into consideration whenever I work, like at the end of the day, like I can be tired, but if it's like my mom, my dad, like I want them to
Get the best care.
yeah, exactly.
I think that's
Beautifully
time.
said.
This time.
But I just want to say that I'm so proud to know you guys.
Thank you.
Dang.
I'm gonna cry.
Thanks for hiring us. Gwen,
Don't get me emotional right now.
Gwen's gonna take my spot next episode.
Yeah, that's time. That was a good episode.
Yeah.
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 That was like hella real too. Like it's
lot of realness in there for sure.
Wow. I thought it was gonna be all
And
fun and
scene.
games for this one.
Huh?
Jollibee.
For real.
Sponsor us.
Do we just chill here then, and when
Yeah.
they're just
Dude, I
Anything
really,
ready?
I couldn't hear outside, but I wanted to cut in when you guys were
Yeah.
talking about like crazy patient stories.
I was gonna ask. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
gonna text you like, hey, you want to swap real quick?
I wanted to
Talk
talk
about your
about the
patient.
prosthetic.
Yeah, dude, that one
prosthetic.
might get you canceled.
Wait, what?
Nothing.
Another day, another time.
Another day.
Another time.
Another day.
Crazy
Yeah.
nursing stories.
All right.
I think that
I'd
might
be
a
down
hit.
for
Yeah.
that.
Do we
I mean,
head
I don't-
out? Yeah.
When
let's
is
see
the
how it
first
is.
episode gonna air? Or second?
The second episode will first air next week.
Been waiting. Did the edits finish?
Oh yeah, that's been finished. I have
Should
to
we
make
head
an
outside?
episode. Yeah, I'll see you outside.
Yeah, I was like,
Ah.
I want to eat a Jollibee chicken.
You guys are right.
Every-
Just don't think about being on camera.
Like I said, bro, only have 2 or 3 thoughts a day, you're good.
Hell, chicken love.
Cause hell, chicken. Dang, Shan just left. You're
Oh my
really
gosh,
good.
shoot.
No, you're good.
Dissociation right now.
I know, 2 or 3 thoughts, like I said.
Everything that I love. Kiss me.